Stop whatever you are doing in this very moment, and listen to the voice of your Creator. I have brought you to this exact place, at this exact time, not by accident, but by a divine, perfectly orchestrated appointment. You have been running so fast, trying to fix every single broken piece of your life with your own exhausted hands, but today, I am telling you to be still. I am stepping into your situation right now, with absolute power, with boundless mercy, and with an undeniable promise that will echo through the deepest chambers of your weary soul. Everything will be fine. I see the tears you have cried in the hidden hours of the night, when you thought absolutely no one was watching. I know the crushing weight of the anxiety that rests upon your chest, the endless worries about your future, the paralyzing fears that try to tell you that you are alone, that you have failed, that there is no way out of this heavy storm. But listen to me closely today. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I hold the entire universe in the palm of my hand, and I am holding you. You do not need to figure everything out today. You simply need to trust me. Release your tight grip on the things you cannot control. Surrender the endless calculations, the desperate planning, the frantic searching for human solutions to spiritual battles. When you try to carry the massive burdens of tomorrow on the fragile shoulders of today, you crush the beautiful spirit I placed inside of you. I am your provider. I am your ultimate protector. Just as a loving shepherd gently guides his precious flock away from the dangerous cliffs and leads them directly into the lush, green pastures, I am currently leading you. You might not see the destination yet. The path might seem incredibly dark, winding, and completely uncertain, but I know exactly where we are going. Do not fear the giant mountain standing in your way. Do not be terrified of the raging waters that threaten to pull you under. When you walk through the fire, you will absolutely not be burned. When you pass through the deep waters, they will not overflow you. My presence is an unbreakable shield around you, a fortress that no enemy, no financial crisis, no sickness, and no worldly fear can ever penetrate. I am standing between you and the forces that seek to break you down. I am wrapping my everlasting arms around your tired mind, whispering directly into your spirit, peace, be absolutely still. You have been so incredibly hard on yourself. You look back at your past mistakes, your failures, the times you stumbled and fell short of your own expectations, and you allow guilt to physically torment you. But I am telling you today, with a love that is deeper than the deepest ocean, you are fully and completely forgiven. My mercy is brand new every single morning. It is not based on your perfection. It is based on my unconditional, unending grace. Let go of the heavy chains of yesterday. Stop punishing yourself for the chapters of your life that I have already closed, completely erased, and washed clean. I am completely removing the agonizing mental afflictions that have kept you trapped in a vicious cycle of despair. The bad habits, the toxic thought patterns, the deep-rooted insecurities that you thought you could never break free from, I am actively destroying them right now with my holy, healing power. You are being transformed from the inside out. Your mind is being beautifully renewed. Your spirit is being dramatically restored. You are not defined by the battles you have lost. You are defined by the ultimate victory I have already won for you. I am calling you to walk in absolute faith, even when your human eyes see absolutely nothing but impossibility. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the courageous decision to trust my voice over the loud, chaotic noise of the world. When the enemy whispers that you are entirely finished, that your dreams are permanently dead, that your resources are completely dried up, I need you to answer back with unshakable confidence. Tell the darkness that your God is the absolute master of the impossible. Tell your mountains that they must legally bow down to the name above all names. Every single detail of your life is being meticulously worked out for your ultimate good. The painful delays that have frustrated you so deeply are actually my divine protection, carefully keeping you away from hidden dangers you cannot even see. The doors that were slammed directly in your face were closed by my own hand, because I refuse to let you settle for absolutely anything less than the majestic miracles I have prepared for you. New doors are actively opening for you right now, doors of massive provision, doors of unexplainable prosperity, doors of peace that surpasses all human understanding. I want you to wake up every single morning and immediately seek my face before the heavy demands of the world drag you down. Speak to me in the quiet dawn, read the living words I have preserved for you, let my truth anchor your soul before the winds of the day begin to aggressively blow. And in the quiet, fading hours of the evening, do not carry your stress to bed. Lay every single worry, every single frustration, every single unanswered question directly at my feet. Rest your physical body and your exhausted mind, knowing that I absolutely never sleep, I absolutely never slumber, and I am working the night shift on your behalf. And as I pour this magnificent, supernatural manifestation of love directly into your life, I want you to become a glorious vessel of that exact same love to a hurting world. Show deep, radical mercy to those who have deeply wronged you. Turn the other cheek when the world expects you to violently retaliate. When you forgive others, you physically unlock the final doors of your own absolute freedom. Pray not just for your own needs, lift up your beautiful family, your close friends, and the countless souls across this earth who are suffering in absolute silence. When you become a channel of my blessing to others, you legally guarantee that my blessings will continually, violently overflow in your own life. Everything is going to be fine. Say it out loud right now, let it resonate in the physical atmosphere of your room. Everything is going to be completely, totally, and absolutely fine. Your physical health is in my hands, your fragile finances are in my hands, your precious children are in my hands, your unspoken dreams are entirely in my hands. The heavy storm is finally passing, the dark, frightening clouds are aggressively breaking apart, and the warm, brilliant light of my glorious favor is shining directly upon your face. Hold on just a little bit longer, keep your eyes entirely fixed on me, and get ready to violently step into the greatest, most abundant season of your entire life. Listen closely to the gentle whisper of my spirit, moving through the very room you are sitting in right now. Do not let the distractions of this chaotic world pull your attention away, for I am speaking life, I am speaking divine destiny, directly into your weary heart. I see how incredibly hard you have been fighting. I see the silent battles you face every single day just to keep a smile on your face while your spirit feels like it is completely crumbling. But hear me now, the days of your breaking are officially over, and the glorious season of your total restoration has violently begun. You have looked at the massive obstacles standing right in front of you, and you have told yourself that this is the absolute end of the road. You have calculated your resources, you have looked at your fragile bank account, you have analyzed your physical limitations, and your human logic has boldly concluded that there is absolutely no way out. But I am not limited by human logic. I am not bound by earthly economies, I am not restricted by the terrifying reports of the doctors, and I am certainly not intimidated by the giants that are currently threatening your peace. I am the God who completely split the roaring sea so my children could walk through on dry land. Do you truly believe I cannot make a clear, perfect path for you in the middle of your current wilderness? I am actively orchestrating a massive, unexplainable turnaround in your life right at this very second. While you have been sleeping, I have been commanding angels to move heavy boulders out of your way. While you have been crying tears of deep frustration, I have been personally realigning the hearts of key people to brutally favor you. You are about to witness a supernatural collision of divine timing and boundless grace. The very things that have fiercely opposed you for years are about to abruptly bow down to the absolute authority of my name. Stop looking down at the rough, painful ground you are walking on, and lift your eyes to the heavens from where your true, massive help comes from. I did not create you to merely survive this earthly existence. I did not breathe my holy breath into your lungs just so you could scrape by, constantly worried about the basic necessities of life. I created you for massive, uncontainable overflow. I designed you to be a walking, breathing testimony of my outrageous goodness in the land of the living. I know the heavy sting of the deep betrayal you have experienced. I know exactly who walked away when you needed them the most. I know the sharp words that were spoken behind your back that cut you like a physical knife. You have allowed the bitter pain of those rejections to build massive, heavy walls around your heart, terrified to ever trust again. But I am asking you today to carefully hand that heavy baggage directly to me. Let me be your fierce vindicator. Let me be your absolute defender. You do not need to fight back. You do not need to prove your worth to people who are completely committed to misunderstanding you. When I promote you, when I heavily bless you in the presence of your enemies, that will be the only answer they ever need. I am currently pouring a deep, healing balm over every single emotional wound you carry. I am meticulously binding up your completely shattered heart. The deep, paralyzing trauma of your past will absolutely not dictate the glorious trajectory of your future. You are not damaged goods. You are not a lost cause. In my holy hands, your deepest, most agonizing pain is being radically transformed into your absolute greatest power. The very areas where the enemy tried to completely destroy you are exactly where I am going to anoint you the heaviest, so you can radically pull others out of that exact same darkness. Everything will be fine. I need you to violently reject the dark spirit of fear that constantly whispers worst-case scenarios into your vulnerable mind. Fear is a liar. Fear is a thief trying to completely rob you of the joy of today by terrifying you about a tomorrow that does not even exist yet. I have strictly commanded you to be strong and deeply courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for I, the Lord your God, am walking right beside you wherever you go. I am releasing a supernatural, heavy peace into your mind right now. It is a peace that makes absolutely no logical sense to the outside world, a profound peace that completely anchors your soul even when the external storms are raging at a Category 5 level. When the anxiety tries to violently rise up in your chest, I want you to take a deep, physical breath and loudly declare, "My God is entirely in control. I am deeply loved, I am fiercely protected, and I am totally secure in the palm of His mighty hand." Get ready for an aggressive downpour of majestic miracles. I am not talking about tiny, unnoticeable shifts. I am talking about completely undeniable, jaw-dropping interventions that will leave you absolutely speechless. Debts that you thought would take decades to pay off are going to be supernaturally canceled. Chronic physical conditions that the experts said you would just have to manage for the rest of your life are being completely, totally healed from the root. Dead, broken relationships are going to experience a violent resurrection of love and deep forgiveness. But you must maintain absolute, unwavering faith. You cannot stand with one foot in radical belief and the other foot in deep, cynical doubt. You must completely burn the bridge of unbelief. Decide today, in this very hour, that you are going to fiercely trust my character even when you cannot completely understand my methods. If I said everything will be fine, then heaven and earth will completely pass away before my promise to you ever falls to the ground empty. I am faithful, I have always been faithful, and I will be faithful to you until the very end of time. Open your spiritual eyes in this exact moment, and behold the magnificent things I am actively doing right in front of you. You have been staring at the closed doors for so incredibly long. weeping over the opportunities that slip through your fragile fingers, but I am loudly calling you to turn your head and look at the entirely new horizon I have painted just for you. I have not forgotten a single prayer you whispered in the dark. I have not ignored a single tear that fell onto your pillow when the absolute weight of the world felt entirely unbearable. I have collected every single one of your sorrows, and I am actively turning them into the very foundation of your greatest, most unimaginable victory. I know you are so tired of the waiting. I know the endless days of expecting and not seeing the physical results have completely drained your spiritual energy. You have watched other people receive their massive breakthroughs. You have celebrated their joyous seasons of harvest, while secretly wondering in the deep, quiet corners of your heart if your turn would ever actually come. Listen to the booming voice of your Creator today. Your appointed time is not just coming, it has officially, violently arrived right now. The agonizing season of drought is completely over. The heavy, gray clouds of my absolute favor are gathering directly over your household, and a massive, uncontainable downpour of blessings is about to violently wash away every single trace of your barren past. Do not let the temporary illusions of this physical world deceive you into believing that my power is somehow limited by your current bank account, or by the grim medical report, or by the toxic people who have deeply sworn to see you completely fail. I am the absolute author of time and space. I am the sovereign architect of the entire universe. When I decree that a massive blessing is assigned to your specific name, absolutely no demon in hell, and no human being on this earth, possesses the power to intercept it, delay it, or completely stop it. It is fiercely rushing toward you like a mighty, unstoppable freight train of divine grace. I am actively breaking every single generational curse of poverty, sickness, and deep depression that has stubbornly clung to your bloodline for absolute decades. What completely destroyed your ancestors will absolutely not destroy you. What kept your parents entirely bound in chains of lack will not keep you bound. What severely restricted the previous generations will completely and totally shatter the moment it touches your anointed life. I have chosen you to be the ultimate chain breaker. I have specifically positioned you in this exact generation to completely rewrite the financial and spiritual history of your entire family. Everything will be fine. I need you to let that single, glorious phrase deeply permeate the very marrow of your bones. Everything will be fine. You do not need to fiercely defend yourself against the brutal lies and the harsh accusations of the enemy. I am stepping directly into the courtroom of your life, and I am serving as your absolute, undefeated defender. The harsh voices that have maliciously tried to assassinate your character are being permanently silenced by my holy authority. I am preparing a massive, extravagant table for you right in the very presence of the exact people who mocked you and fiercely prayed for your total downfall. They will be forced to stand back and watch as I physically pour the heavy oil of unmerited favor entirely all over your life. I am pouring out a fresh, violent fire of passion back into your weary soul right now. The heavy apathy that has slowly crept into your daily routine is completely burning away. The dreams that you buried in the cold dirt of deep disappointment are experiencing a radical, supernatural resurrection this very hour. I am forcefully breathing my warm, holy breath back into your lungs. You will boldly dream again. You will fiercely create again. You will wildly love again. You are completely stepping out of the dark, dusty tomb of your past failures, and you are confidently walking into the bright, blinding light of your ultimate, divine calling. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I strictly command you to completely change your entire vocabulary. You must immediately stop speaking the toxic language of defeat, and you must rapidly learn the royal dialect of absolute victory. Stop saying that you are constantly broke. Stop loudly declaring that you are always sick. Stop endlessly repeating that you are completely alone. Death and life are entirely in the power of your tongue. When you speak over your own life, you are physically prophesying your own future. From this exact moment forward, you will only declare that you are heavily blessed. You will firmly announce that you are completely healed. You will loudly shout that you are fiercely protected and absolutely highly favored. I am bringing divine, kingdom connections directly into your everyday path. I am carefully removing the toxic, draining relationships that have secretly kept you completely paralyzed in a vicious cycle of heavy emotional abuse. You are about to suddenly meet people who will fiercely champion your massive vision, people who will rapidly open heavy doors of opportunity for you, people who will genuinely love you with the exact same pure, unconditional love that I have deeply placed inside of them. You will absolutely not have to beg for their attention, and you will certainly not have to compromise your holy morals to keep them in your life. Hold your head up incredibly high today. Do not walk through this physical world with the defeated posture of a helpless victim. You are a royal child of the ultimate King of Kings. I have completely crowned you with majestic glory and deep honor. The very same spirit that violently raised Jesus Christ from the cold, dark grave is currently living, breathing, and fiercely operating right inside of your physical body. There is absolutely nothing you cannot completely overcome. There is absolutely no giant you cannot brutally defeat. There is absolutely no mountain you cannot forcefully command to be thrown directly into the sea. Stay in complete, unwavering faith. Keep your spiritual eyes violently focused entirely on my promises, because the miraculous manifestation you have been desperately waiting for is literally just one single breath away. Feel the heavy burdens physically lifting off your tired shoulders in this very exact moment. I know exactly how completely exhausted your physical body has become from constantly carrying the immense weight of endless stress and crippling worry. I see how the late nights of overthinking have deeply drained your natural energy, leaving you entirely depleted before the day even begins. But right now, I am breathing a fresh, supernatural wind of absolute vitality directly into your physical frame. I am actively touching your weary bones. I am completely renewing your cellular structure. I am forcefully commanding every single system in your physical body to properly align with my divine blueprint of absolute, perfect health. You will no longer walk through your days feeling completely drained and physically defeated. I am heavily restoring the years that the locusts have violently eaten away. I know you look back at the calendar and deeply mourn the time you feel was completely wasted, the years spent in the wrong relationships, the decades spent in the completely wrong career, the countless seasons stolen by deep depression and agonizing anxiety. But hear my sovereign voice today. I am the absolute master of time. I can supernaturally accomplish more in your life in the next 60 short days than you could have ever accomplished in 60 long years of exhausting human effort. I am rapidly accelerating your divine progress. I am collapsing time frames to violently propel you into your exact, preordained destiny. Everything will be fine. Let that glorious truth echo through the deepest, darkest corridors of your mind right now. I am heavily commanding the raging storms in your physical environment to be completely, absolutely still. You have been living in a harsh, brutal spiritual winter for so incredibly long. The ground has felt completely frozen, the trees have been totally bare, and the freezing winds of harsh adversity have relentlessly beaten against your face. But the spiritual seasons are aggressively shifting right now. I am loudly declaring that your beautiful, vibrant spring has officially arrived. The frozen ground is rapidly thawing. The beautiful seeds you planted in deep tears are violently bursting through the dark soil, and you are about to step into the most massive, uncontainable season of blooming harvest you have ever seen. Do not let the temporary illusions of lack convince you that my heavenly treasury is somehow running completely dry. The earthly economy may violently shake, the stock markets may rapidly crash, the financial institutions of men may completely crumble into absolute dust, but my kingdom economy operates on a completely different, infinitely higher frequency. I own the cattle on 1,000 majestic hills. the silver is completely mine, the gold is entirely mine, and you are my precious, highly favored child. I am actively releasing hidden riches directly into your hands. I am uncovering deeply buried treasures of darkness and giving them entirely to you. You will absolutely not have to scrape the bottom of the barrel anymore. You will live out the rest of your days completely drinking from a cup that violently overflows with my unmerited grace. I am placing a massive, impenetrable hedge of divine protection completely around your entire family right now. I hear the desperate, agonizing prayers you cry out for your precious children, for your aging parents, for the beloved friends who are completely lost in the dark. Stop carrying the heavy salvation of your loved ones on your own fragile back. I love them infinitely more than your human heart is even capable of comprehending, and my Holy Spirit is fiercely pursuing them right now. I am sending warring angels to violently disrupt their toxic paths. I am orchestrating massive divine encounters that will completely melt their hardened hearts. You just keep fiercely standing in the gap. You just keep loudly speaking my promises over their lives, and you will absolutely witness the majestic miracles of total family restoration. You must completely shake off the dark, heavy spirit of deep offense today. The enemy desperately wants to keep you entirely trapped in a bitter prison of relentless unforgiveness. He knows that if he can keep you violently angry at the people who deeply betrayed you, he can successfully block the massive flow of my blessings into your life. But you are so much wiser than his pathetic, predictable traps. I am giving you the supernatural strength right now to completely release every single person who has ever deeply hurt you. You are not forgiving them because they somehow deserve it. You are completely forgiving them because you violently demand your own absolute peace. When you totally release them from the heavy debt they owe you, I immediately release the massive, unimaginable blessings that I have stored up for you. Everything will be fine. I am stepping directly into the middle of your most complicated, hopelessly tangled situations right now. The massive legal battles that terrified you, the complex financial disasters that kept you completely awake, the deeply broken contracts that threatened to ruin your name, I am actively untangling every single knot. I am exposing the hidden lies of the enemy. I am brutally bringing the absolute truth into the blinding light. You will completely walk away from these terrifying battles without even a single smell of smoke on your physical garments. I am your ultimate vindicator, and when I rise up to fiercely defend your honor, absolutely no weapon aggressively formed against you will ever completely prosper. I want you to loudly praise me right now, exactly in the middle of the dark hallway, before the massive door has even physically opened. Do not wait to see the actual miracle before you offer me your highest praise. When you violently praise me in the absolute dark, it deeply confuses the enemy, it completely shatters the heavy chains of depression, and it forcefully builds a massive highway of faith for my power to actively travel on. Lift up your heavy voice right now, boldly declare my ultimate goodness directly to the empty walls of your room. Shout it until the heavy atmosphere completely shifts, shout it until the deep darkness violently flees. Shout it until your own weary spirit completely believes the undeniable truth. You are standing on the very brink of the absolute greatest manifestation of my holy presence you have ever personally experienced. Do not back down, do not violently retreat, do not let the loud, obnoxious roaring of the enemy intimidate you for even a single second. He is completely terrified of the massive anointing that I have placed directly upon your life. He knows his time is absolutely running out, and he knows that your ultimate victory is completely, totally, and permanently guaranteed. I am completely finalizing the majestic work that I began inside of you so many years ago. You have endured the heavy crushing of the winepress. You have survived the absolute darkest, most terrifying valleys of the shadow of death, and you have faithfully held on to my unchanging hand even when your human strength was completely, totally gone. Now is the glorious time for your ultimate reward. I am forcefully commanding the massive floodgates of heaven to swing completely, violently open directly over your physical household. You are about to actively step into a beautiful season where the massive blessings will literally chase you down, where you will fiercely try to outrun my goodness, but it will aggressively overtake you at every single turn. Everything will be fine. I am searing this absolute, undeniable truth directly into your DNA today. The generational cycles of deep anxiety and crippling panic attacks that tormented your ancestors are permanently broken right here, right now, in this exact, holy moment. You will sleep with the deep, beautiful peace of a completely innocent child tonight. Your racing thoughts will finally, totally rest. I am aggressively silencing the loud, chaotic noise of the world that constantly screams for your fragile attention, and I am deeply wrapping your weary mind in a heavy, impenetrable blanket of divine serenity. You will clearly hear my gentle voice leading you, telling you exactly when to turn to the right, and exactly when to powerfully step to the left. I am heavily releasing the warrior angels of extreme provision to aggressively march on your behalf. They are actively recovering the massive resources, the stolen finances, and the blocked opportunities that the enemy unlawfully tried to hoard. I am commanding the hidden wealth of the wicked to be supernaturally transferred directly into the righteous, faithful hands of my beloved children. You will completely pay off your heavy mortgage. You will completely eradicate your crushing debt. You will loudly laugh at the days to come because you will have significantly more than enough to fully fund every single vision I have deeply planted inside your heart. You will absolutely become the heavy lender, and you will never, ever be the desperate borrower again. Do not look at the frightening headlines of the earthly news and let terror violently grip your heart. The kingdoms of arrogant men will always aggressively rise and tragically fall, but my eternal kingdom, the kingdom that you are fully and completely a part of, will stand incredibly strong forever. You are fully shielded from the brutal economic plagues. You are totally protected from the devastating pestilences that blindly walk in the deep darkness. I have placed the heavy mark of the blood of the Lamb completely over the doorposts of your physical life, and absolutely the destroyer must completely pass over you. I am calling you to step wildly out of your small, comfortable, restricted boat, and I am commanding you to boldly walk directly on the raging waters. I have placed massive, kingdom-shaking potential deep inside your spirit, but you must take the terrifying, physical step of absolute faith. Do not let the paralyzing fear of failure keep you permanently locked in a prison of mediocrity. Even if you slightly stumble, even if the raging wind loudly threatens to completely pull you under, my strong right hand will instantly reach down, violently grab you, and safely pull you back up. You can absolutely never, ever completely fall out of my massive grace. You are about to witness the absolute greatest physical and emotional healings of your entire generation. I am commanding the damaged cells in your physical body to rapidly regenerate. I am commanding the chronic, agonizing pain to instantly, totally vanish. I am aggressively healing the completely shattered marriages. I am forcefully turning the bitter hearts of the rebellious children directly back to their desperate parents. What the most highly educated experts boldly declared was completely impossible, I am going to effortlessly accomplish in the very blink of an eye. I am going to make a massive public spectacle of the very demons that tried to quietly destroy your beautiful family. Everything will be fine. This is my final, unbreakable, sovereign decree over your precious life today. I am completely sealing this massive prophetic declaration with the heavy, undeniable power of the Holy Spirit. You will not just barely survive the coming days, you will aggressively, violently, and beautifully thrive. You will become a brilliant, blazing lighthouse of massive hope to a dark, terrified, and completely broken world. When people look closely at your incredibly blessed life, they will be violently forced to admit that the Almighty God is absolutely real, and that He fiercely loves His children. Keep your head held incredibly high, keep your faith completely unshakable, because your absolute best days, your most abundant days, and your most glorious days are officially starting right now. If this massive, life-changing message deeply resonated with your spirit today, if you physically felt the heavy presence of God violently breaking the chains in your life, you must take immediate, bold action right now. First, aggressively smash that subscribe button and turn on every single notification. This channel is a powerful, digital altar of absolute truth, and you simply cannot afford to miss the heavy prophetic warnings and the massive blessings we release every single week. Second, violently hit the like button right now. That is not for our ego. That powerful action directly forces the algorithm to immediately push this exact healing message to millions of broken, desperate souls who are sitting in the dark, contemplating giving up today. You are literally partnering with heaven to completely save lives just by clicking that button. Finally, I need you to go directly into the comments right this very second and boldly declare, "Everything will be fine in my life." When you publicly type that simple phrase, you are spiritually signing your name to this massive divine contract. You are loudly prophesying your absolute victory to the entire world. Share this highly anointed video immediately with your family, your close friends, and absolutely anyone you know who desperately needs a massive miracle today. Thank you for standing in unwavering faith with us. May the absolute, uncontainable blessing of the Lord completely overflow in your house, and we will see you in the next powerful video.